Hey everyone, got our Forbidden Rite, some gameplay right here. I'm gonna have the explanation of the mechanics and POB a little later in the video. You can check the timestamps, but right here you can just watch some of the gameplay. This is a very scuffed version of the build. I will have the loadout for this scuffed version in the POB. I just threw together some items and I wanted to test out the interaction real quick. Feels really good. This is a tier 14 red map, so yeah, pretty much just melting everything, and I haven't optimized it at all. So I think it's time to build the Forbidden Rite. If you like Forbidden Rite, skip over to the explanation in the video, or just straight up go to the POB and start buying those items. It's gonna be really strong. You stack defenses and you get damage. It's one of those types of builds.
Place.
The void protects.
Check them for trinkets.
Me, but move on. I'm charged by the thing. Doesn't matter how this ends, only that it does. Oh, this won't take long. You're finished. Not worth dying over. Take it.
Hey guys, we got ourselves a juicy one here. For all you Forbidden Rite enjoyers out there, I think the time is now to log in and test out this new tech. Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice, alternate Forbidden Rite. Pretty hard to use this ability up until now. The fact that it costs life causes us a lot of problems. Because take 50% of your max energy shield as chaos damage. With the life cost was just really hard to capitalize on. A few builds did it, but now an amulet came out, Whispers of Infinity, which converts skill costs into mana or into energy shield instead of mana or life. So we solve all of our skill cost issues. With this, we can reserve our whole mana bar, and we can go Chaos Inoculation to be immune to chaos damage and not take any damage from Forbidden Rite alt. So we get to take advantage of the massive 20% of your max energy shield. This was buffed, by the way, this patch, by 5%. It scales like crazy off your energy shield. I think it's one of the highest scaling skills in the game for energy shield. But yeah, with that amulet, we're able to now take advantage of, oh, one sec. Sorry, I just noticed my POB was off centered. Hopefully that's a little better. But yeah, with this amulet, which is very cheap by the way, you can get this for 5C, under 10C for sure. There's quite a few listings, and unless this build gets real popular, I think it'll keep that price. But yeah, we got more than that in here. We have the new wand, Mystic Refractor. This thing gives us 3 extra projectiles. I'm not sure on the calculations for how many Forbidden Rite projectiles actually hit. I was reading and I think it was like you can hit up to 4 pretty easily, or 4 additional, so 5. So this one's giving us 3 out of 4 there. You can actually run 2 of these for 6. I'm not sure how viable that is, but yeah. So this allows us to not run a multiple projectile support, and then we don't have the less multiplier on our damage. And then we got this new ring, Betrayal Sting. This thing's insane for poison builds, pretty much 40% more damage. It looks like catalysts do not work with it, unfortunately, so it is capped at 40%, but it's still, that's a crazy multiplier. And it's also cheap. All this stuff, this wand, 3 projectiles is a little more expensive, but 2 projectiles is very cheap. These rings are cheap. Yeah, so those are all the new uniques being used. We do have a couple other important uniques in here. Chevrons gives us a massive damage boost in defense. You don't have to use chevrons if you don't like to deal with the no recharge or regenerate energy shield. I think it's fine if you have enough life leech, but totally up to whoever's playing. You can always swap out chevrons like on demand as well. You just have another ring sitting in your inventory, but we're using that. And then we got this belt. This is really, really strong in Elementalist right now. Up to 30% of enemy damage is converted to 2 different elements, and we're running all 3 of these ascendancy points. So we shock, chill, and ignite. So with that belt and Shaper of Flames, it's 70% of physical damage converted to fire or lightning. And then you can do some stuff with your mercenary too, like getting Count's Binding for another 25%. So 95% of their physical damage converted to elements. The physical max hit here is going to feel way better than it actually shows. But yeah, those are all the special uniques. For items, it's just energy shield. This is, I have a minimalist loadout here. This is just like under 10C energy shield gear with some resistances and like maybe an implicit if, one sec. Yeah, so I added another implicit. It has implicits on the gear if the implicit's strong enough to be worth rolling for. Physical damage taken as chaos is huge on these ones. It's worth rolling. And then poison on hits, big on the gloves. Not as nice as the physical taken as chaos, because you can get poison on hit on the jewels. But yeah, this all should be pretty cheap gear, under 10C. Rolling might take a little more cost, but you don't have to roll like right away. None of the implicits are necessary. They're just a big bonus. And yeah, so that's about all for the items on the minimalist setup. This you should be able to acquire all this by yellow maps if you're farming up anything for another build. It's really cheap to get going. And then we got our gems, Forbidden Rite, Soul Sacrifice. This is cheap, very cheap, 1C gem. And the rest you can just buy from the vendor. We got our golem setups, really strong for Elementalist, and they survive. And I've tested 4 Watchstone gameplay so far, and they survive in all of that content. I haven't tested T17 or Uber bosses yet, but so far golems are looking real tanky, and it's worth using them on pretty much any Elementalist build. Withering Step for a wither, couple curses, and some auras. Nothing too crazy here. And then we got our tree. This is the minimalist tree. There's no cluster jewels. The only jewels we're using, you don't have to use this one, but it's kind of efficient right here for some extra energy shield. And it's cheap, like 4C, 5C. The rest of the jewels are like 1 to 5C energy shield, poison on hit jewels. And yeah, this tree requires level 89, but you can unspec out of a lot of different things in here, like the extra energy shield, and like random damage nodes. So you don't actually have to be level 89 to run this. So yeah, it's pretty dang strong. I didn't go over this at the start for some reason, but our max hits are great. For the gear investment, 12k energy shield, damage is really good. It's actually higher than this, because of this ring. The 40% chance to inflict additional poison is not applying. So yeah, I think it's a really great time to play Forbidden Rite, especially if you like the skill. If you don't like self-casting, because you do have to stand in place, and I'm gonna post gameplay at the very start of the video. This portion will come after. Yeah, if you don't like to self-cast, I'm gonna make a cast on crit variant. It should be pretty easy to pull off with golems. We'll have to run 5 golems instead of 4, so you will need 3 eminences and 1 anima stone. But yeah, I'll have that up in the POB eventually. For the other loadouts, initial spec, let me load it in real quick. It's just going to be my the POB that my build in the video is running. I just whipped together some scuffed gear. Yeah, so I loaded it in. I had a cold damage over time elementalist before this, and I was came across the interaction, and I wanted to build this like immediately, so I just started buying some gear and used some of my old gear and tested this out in a red map, and it felt pretty good already. So it's not min-maxed at all. It's not even as strong as the minimalist setup, because I'm missing like a bunch of gem levels, and the items aren't really. There's some like a random cold spell skill gem, but yeah, it felt pretty good already with just this gear. So I think I'm gonna try and clear all Ubers on this build, some tier 17s, and push it pretty far. But yeah, I have also high spec loadout in here. It's also not optimized yet, but it has some of the items that we could shoot for. These primordial bond megalos are really strong for the build. Not needed, but very strong. Light of meaning energy shield with a natural instinct combination is very strong. But yeah, I'll keep adding to this as I work on my gear and all that. But yeah, it's I think it's time to log in and play some Forbidden Rite. It's a fun skill. And this is probably the strongest I would say it's ever gonna be, or it's ever been. I remember cast on crit Forbidden Rite was pretty strong some years ago. So, but there's been a ton of power creep since then, so I still think this is going to be the strongest variant. So yeah, I also have a notes section in here. I'll keep adding to this, but it has some stuff about the build, and I add this to all my POBs pretty much, and explain some of the loadouts. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and get to building. I don't think anything's gonna get too crazy in price, but yeah, get it while you can, or get it while it's cheap. Better than paying extra for it.